Welcome to the ProtoCol Playbook, a series about the decisions that separate a study your reviewers love from one they quietly rip apart. Each episode, we unpack one choice you'll have to make on every research project. Today, the one that shapes everything downstream: study design. You're 3 months into your project. Your supervisor asks, "So, what's your study design?" You say the words you've heard 100 times: a prospective cohort. Everyone nods. Nobody tells you just made the most expensive decision of the next 2 years, probably for the wrong reason. Your study design isn't a checkbox, it's the spine of your protocol. Before you collect a single data point, it locks in 4 things: which biases you'll be fighting for the rest of the project, which statistical test you're even allowed to use, which reporting checklist the journal will hold you to, consort, strobe, or prisma, and how many participants you need to recruit. Pick the wrong design, and every step after costs double to fix. Here's the shortcut your supervisor probably won't explain. Start with one question. Question 1. Can you randomize? Can you, ethically and practically, assign participants to an exposure or a control? If yes, you're in randomized trial territory. Parallel groups, crossover, cluster, non-inferiority, all flavors of the same thing. You control the exposure. Example: you want to test a new statin against placebo for preventing a second heart attack. You can consent patients, randomize them, follow them. That's an RCT, and specifically a parallel group RCT. If you can't randomize, ethics says no, feasibility says no, or the exposure already happened, you're in observational territory. Now, question 2 matters. Question 2, when do you measure? Are you looking forward in time or backward? If you're looking forward, you start with a group, measure their exposure, then follow them to see who develops the outcome. That's a cohort study. Example: you want to know if 20 years of coffee drinking changes the risk of Parkinson's disease. You can't randomize coffee, but you can follow a group of coffee drinkers and non-drinkers for 20 years. Prospective cohort. If you're looking backward, you start with people who already have the outcome and reconstruct their exposure. That's a case control study. Example: you want to know what causes pancreatic cancer. It's rare. Waiting for a cohort to develop it takes forever and costs a fortune. So, you find people who already have it, find similar people who don't, and compare their histories. Case control. And if you're measuring everything at one point in time, exposure and outcome, snapshot, that's cross-sectional. Example: you want to estimate HPV prevalence among university students. One visit, one questionnaire, one test. Done. Cross-sectional. 3 questions, 4 designs. You just narrowed your protocol from "I have no idea" to a specific methodology with specific strengths and specific limitations. But every design also carries its own bias profile, and this is where people trip. Cohort handles temporality beautifully, but struggles with rare outcomes. Case control handles rare outcomes, but invites recall bias. People misremember their past. RCT eliminates confounding, but its results may not reflect the real world.
Now, here is where junior researchers consistently get it wrong. 4 patterns. Watch for these in your own draft. Anti-pattern 1, inheritance. That's what the last paper in our lab did. Your study design should be dictated by your research question, not by the file on your supervisor's desktop. Copying a design is not the same as choosing one. Anti-pattern 2, the gold standard reflex. You pick an RCT because you've been told RCTs are the gold standard. They are, when you can ethically and feasibly run one. You can't randomize smoking. You can't randomize poverty. You can't randomize a 30-year exposure. The gold standard for your question might be a well-designed cohort. Anti-pattern 3, dataset-driven design. I picked cohort because I have EHR data. Starting from the dataset is backwards. The question comes first. The design follows. The dataset supports or forces you to pick a different question. Anti-pattern 4, fighting your prevalence. Case control shines when your outcome is rare. If you're studying hypertension, which is everywhere, case control wastes your efficiency and invites recall bias you didn't need. A design that fights your numbers will lose. Recap in one breath. Can I randomize? If yes, randomize trial. If no, forward or backward. Forward is cohort. Backward is case control. Snapshot is cross-sectional. 3 questions, answerable in under a minute. They don't give you a perfect design, but they get you out of "I have no idea" and into a conversation worth having with your statistician. This is exactly what ProtoCol does. It maps your research question to the right study design, flags the biases that come with it, and walks you through the reporting checklist and sample size calculation in one session. Start free at protocol.med. One mention, because you earned the value first. Next time on the playbook, the variable you forgot, confounding, mediators, and colliders, and why the advice "just adjust for everything" is one of the worst things ever said in biostatistics. Until then, pick your design on purpose. See you in the next one.